That's the very first cut made with some of this cherry. This video is gonna be about a particular drum that I made for a customer that came from a cherry tree that was growing right beside a septic tank. And I bet you can imagine why the colors are so crazy wicked in some of this cherry wood. So what do you think? What do you see when you look at that?
A bit deeper down through there. With the
Well, he
color.
wanted it to fade to natural. Fade to natural.
It's almost natural.
Like fade it to natural. See how my line right there is too hard? What happened was I put this tape around the top part because I didn't want to get no paint on that, and I left it on there. But in the reality, when you're creating a fade, you're gonna have overspray of that. And if you try to eliminate it, it looks funny and it leaves this little line going all the way across the drum. And I really wasn't about that. So I had to kind of get my razor blade and just kind of fade that in. I really wanted to just bring the fade up a little bit more where it was not such a, no, it just kind of gradually goes to natural. It really wasn't it's more kind of a bluish color. It wasn't a purple. So even though I fixed the spot at the top, I really still wasn't 100% sure with it. So it's time to just sand it all back down and start over. The pressure is up. At first I was going to try to take all the blue off of it, but I thought it looked really interesting to have these little stripes carved into the side of it. So when I was looking at it, I was like, you know what if I left that into it? Like sand it all off, but just leave some of the high spots there. My thumb is completely gave out. Oh, it's sore. You know, instead of sanding all of that purple off, I think I'm going to leave some stripes across it. I think that would look very interesting. And it'll give it a little bit of flavor. It just won't make it look so bland. It kind of gives a little tiger maple effect. Just kind of with a hint of that bluish color. That's the reason why I sanded it off, because it was too blue. But just leaving a little bit of that really kind of highlights it. Much better now. Really starting to like it now, a lot. Now let's let it dry and see if it passes inspection. Oh yes, it passes inspection. I love it the way you can see those lines in it. It's almost kind of like tiger maple. Looks beautiful. 2 years earlier. Now I'm going to catch you up on us actually sawing the log. Hey, so this is some of those cherry wood that we're getting ready to saw up right here. This is pretty exciting for them. I'm going to show you some of behind the scenes footage of us just sawing some boards up, talking to the guys, cutting up. Really just kind of how it is really. And, you know, sawing up some cherry wood. It's very fun. Enjoy. You learn that the hard way. It needs to slide this way more. Just pick it up a little bit. Because it's got to be able to clamp it. You see that clamp? Probably one more. Okay. Here, let me put it right here in front of this one. Put it there and then there. That should be good. Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, this is hot. It's gonna have a knot right there. This is gonna be some really nice cherry wood here. I'm thinking it's gonna have a, so I would slab it a couple times and then we could flip it over and then do like we just did it. And then we can edge it, try to edge it. So once we make one pass here all the way across, we'll flip it over and
have that face down and make the passes there. And they're at 229. Let's see how it sounds. Hang on. This is some super nice wood. I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. It's always in anticipation the very first cut that he makes on what it's going to look like. Yeah. Hey, if you want to, go ahead and start taking some of these boards here in the shop, if that's how y'all want to do them. We can start busting them on the table saw. Don't kill yourself now. Don't kill you, don't hurt yourself. I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of this cherry. Look at it. So he sawed up a cherry log. Look at the definition on this stuff. It's got so much of a deep, rich grain pattern that's really insane. It's very rich, it's very deep, very distinct. The grain lines are very hard. You can see them, without a doubt, you can tell cherry wood from about any other species of wood just from a glance. Not to mention it's a well-known drum-making wood too, which is right up my alley. And I'm excited about this. This is gonna be some of the nicest cherry wood that I've ever sawed up. It really is, especially that log over there. So after we get everything sawed up here, we're gonna clean all the edges and everything up. Then we're gonna start the drying process. The drying process is something that gotta be taken slow. You definitely don't wanna rush this. You wanna kind of make sure that it's done right and it's not having a huge amount of issues with it. So, one of the things that I kind of like to do is once everything is said and done and dried, I'm gonna check it with a moisture meter about once a month until I feel comfortable and I've got enough trust in it.
Josh Wilson, what's up, man? Hey, dude, this thing turned out really good. I was really nervous about it at first. Just to be honest, I actually stripped the whole thing back down completely after I painted it once because I just really wasn't happy with it. But fading into the purple really turned out really nice. I think I'm happy with it. Black hardware, dude, for sure. This is gonna look amazing. Thank you so much, man. I did something a little different here. I put a 1/4 inch radius on the outside bearing edge on both sides to a 45. Kind of gives it just a little bit more concave, you know, so that head can kind of seat nicely on it, on the drum, and it's not having to kind of get tensioned because it's all about that contact. That right there is everything. That contact that's on that particular spot that's touching, you know. Snare bed, like once again, a little wider bed here. It's gonna be a wider bed. It's gonna cause a little bit less snare buzz. You know, I like going gradual sometimes. You know, you really have to have your spray gun set up amazingly to do these fades like they need to be done. And I like to kind of really turn the pressure really high when I'm trying to do a good fade because you want to have a tendency to keep messing with it, you know, even when you should have just left it alone. If glue ever gets stuck like this right here, let me show you a really cool fix that you probably didn't know about. Wax paper. You put wax paper on the side, on the inside of this. No more pain and suffering. It's a cinch. Because the glue is not gonna stick to the wax paper. I think I'm gonna sand it back down, start it over. I'm not happy with it. I mean, sometimes my mom will make like random visits out there to the shop just to kind of see what's going on. And she'll like look at the first couple drums and just have a very heavy opinion about the drums, because she's creative too. She does flower arrangements and stuff. And
I like that one. I like this one. I like that one.
what about this one?
That's not even in the numbers. I don't care for it all.
One of those
I know
corn fritter things going?
You got that recording up.
You gonna make me some of those?
No.
Well, I brought the avocado.
I know.